Good evening and welcome to our third day. All right, so you're all welcome to the third day of our 7 days intensive masterclass. So today is day 3, and I want to really welcome you to this class today. And I also want to believe that you've added some value to yourself. Within the last 3 days, we've been on with the theory of music, which is actually the foundation of sight reading. We want to sight read. You are as good at sight reading as the way you know your theory. And the level at which you stop at your theory is the level at which you can sight read. So today I want to really welcome you, and I want to also encourage you to put in more efforts. And also, I gave us an assignment yesterday, at least an assessment workbook to go through and submit. Up to this hour, I did not really receive from anyone. I know that some of us may be really tied up with our different engagements. But be it as it may, it is also important that we put in some seriousness in what we do. I am happy to also see you here today, and with that, I think we should go into the class. Yesterday, we were able to give you the value of our notes, and we also taught you the different red sign for each of the notes, and we went further to the key signature. But before we start today's work, let's look at what we did yesterday within the next 5 minutes. So yesterday we gave you the 6 kinds of notes that are currently in use. And after that, we were able to establish the beats of these notes. And we said for a common time signature, that your whole note equals 4 beats, and that your half note equals 2 beats, and also that your quarter note equals 1 beat. And I established that you should know that the note that precedes each other is half the value of the one that comes before it. That is to say, this is the longest note currently in use. So take it to heart that your minim is always half the value of the semi-brief. That is, your half note is always half the value. That is why it's also called half note. So your quarter note is half the value of your half note. Your 8th note is half the value of your quarter note. Your 16th note is half the value of your 8th note, and your 32nd note is half the value of your 16th note. If you know that, you would not have any issue with your notes. So yesterday we also gave you the red sign for each of these notes, And we said the one that is placed under the line, a red sign that is placed under the line is that of the whole note, and also that of the half note is placed on the line. I want to really be fast. I don't want to take much of your time. That the out of the half note is placed on the line. Don't forget the difference is very clear. This one is under the line, and this one is for the whole note. The one that is seated on the line is for the half note, because the half note is as important as the note itself as well. And the red sign for your is like a unicorn. The red sign for your quarter notes is like this. So anytime you see a red sign like this, that means it's for this quarter note. And the red sign for your eighth note is this. I'm really rushing you because I know you already have this. And the red sign for your 16th note has 2 flags, and that of your 32nd note is going with 3 flags. So that is what we did yesterday. After that, we went further to key signature, which we did only one, and I was able to establish also that the top note represents the number of beats in a bar, and the lower note represents the type of beats. So yeah, yesterday we used 4/4, and we said 4/4 is for common time. Today we are having 2/2 here. 2/2 is for cut time. 2/2 is for your cut time. 2/2 is for your cut time. So for today we are going to be looking at the 3/4 and the 6/8 time signature. And when we are done with that, we come into the main work for this class. I think today we start sight reading and doing other things. So that is that. What yesterday we said the 4/4, that the 4 above here is for the number of beats in a bar, and we established the bar. I told you the difference between a bar and a measure. A measure is the same thing as a bar, and this is known as the bar line. The bar line divides the music into equal portions. Now, the 4 here is telling you that there is supposed to be 4 beats here, 4 beats here, and 4 beats here. That is what it's supposed to be saying. And the 4 below, the one on top number, is telling you that okay, there are so 4 number of beats, the amount of beats there. Then the one below, bottom, the bottom number is the type of beats that you are having. So the type of beat that has 4 from our illustration yesterday was our quarter note. 4 quarter notes equals 1 minute. So anything below 4, you should know that you are dealing with a quarter note in that music. So you know that 4 quarter note equals 1 minim. A minim is the longest note. That means your quarter note is taking 1 count in these beats. So if 4 of these is equal to 1 of these, that means you are going to count 4. When you see this one, then you count this one 1 1 1 1. When you see a 2/2 time signature, Now the 2-2 time signature, yesterday we established that the 4-4 is for common time. Your 2-2 time signature is also for your cut time. You're cutting the 4 into 2. So that is why it's called cut time. Now if you see a 2-2 time signature, the number below is for your half note. So that means your half note is taking one count in a 2-2 time signature. Don't forget, your half note is taking one count in a 2-2 time signature. Please leave a like if you are with us here. I'm not really seeing much people here tonight as well, but it's fine. Those that are serious will always be ready to learn. All right, so the two below, these two below, yesterday in our class we said two of your half note equals one meaning, that is equals one whole note. So the two represents your half note. So here, when you see a 2-2 time signature, all you are being told is that 2 takes one count. Sorry, I was not supposed to even take you here for now. Let us establish, lay down a foundation first before we go to this side, before it will confuse you. I don't want you to be confused, so let's dwell more on our common time signature first. If you have any suggestion, you can drop it in the comment section. So now, we have another time signature that looks almost like the common time signature, and that is the wolf. The wolf's time signature is 3-4. Don't forget, yesterday I said anything that is below 4, means that you are dealing with. Anything below 4 means you are dealing with a quarter note. So your quarter note takes one count. So the wolf's time signature is often associated with words. Those of you that listen to it, means that there are 3 beats in each measure and that the quarter note gets one count. This is telling you that there are 3 beats in each measure. And what takes one count? Your quarter note. These 4 represent your quarter notes. So your quarter note takes one count. That is exactly. So your quarter note still takes one count in any piece of music you see. On the one below, that is the bottom number, is 4. So once the bottom number is 4, know that your quarter note is expected to take one count. So 3-4 here is telling you that there are 3 beats in a measure, and that your quarter note still takes what? One count. So you see time signatures like 2-4, 4-4, 3-4, and so on and so forth. Next, we have to know how to count. Now, when you say your quarter note takes one count, that means if we have, this is wrong. That is to say, we have, when you see a 3-4 time signature, we have here 1, 2, 3. If you see, this is my half note and a quarter note as well, and you see this. In each of the bar, what we have is your 3 beats in each of the measure, because it has been laid down here that there are 3 beats in each of the measure. So you may see 1, 2, 3. That is 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Now, I have not taught you the dotted notes yet, and I think because of this now, I will bring in the dotted notes. So you have to understand it. I don't want to leave anything behind. It is necessary. I taught you how to know the note value is yesterday. I did not really include this dotted note, and it is always very important because you always come across notes that are dotted. So your 3/4 is for the verbs, and the 3/4 time signature here is telling you that there are 3 beats in each measure, and that your quarter note takes 1 count. So we have here 1, 2, 3. Here now we have a half note and a quarter note. So here your half note you know already. If your quarter note is taking 1 count, your half note is supposed to be 2 counts. And if your quarter note is taking 1 count, your whole note is taking 4 counts. These are things you need to really do on your own, not even in the class here. So let's clap this for now, so you can clap what is on the board. We have here 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Here you see I clapped twice because this is 2 counts. Your minimum is taking 2 counts. So when you clap, this is 1 and 2. This one takes the 3rd beat. So here this note now the value is 2, right? So you take 1, 2, 3. Clap it wherever you are. Let's clap together what we have on the board now. 1, 2, go. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Again. 1, 2, go. 1, 2, sorry, go. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Now, before you get confused, why is this one counted 3 and we have just one half note in the bar? Now, a dot placed before a note adds half the value of that note to it. A dot placed, dotted notes. That is called dotted notes. You can see that before this note there is a dot here. So this dot that is placed here adds half the value of this note. What is half the value of a half note? Half the value of a half note is your quarter note. Your quarter note is 1 count. Your half note is 2 counts in this time signature. Don't forget. So since your quarter note is 1 count, that means you're adding half of it. So this dot now adds half to the note. That is why we are counting 3 here. You see, I did not add any other note in this measure. Why? Why? This measure, there is only 1 note, which is your half note. Why did I place only the half note there? If the half note is equal to 2 and your quarter note is 1, that means 2 plus 1 equals 3. So, and we established here that there are 3 beats in 1 bar. I want to believe that we understand now. So 2 plus 1 equals 3. So any dotted note, if you see a dotted note, it adds half the value of that note. Let's say, for instance, your whole note. Let's take, for instance, your whole note. Your whole note here is 4. That means if we have a dot placed after your whole note, it's going to add half of 4. What is half of 4? 2. So this is equals to 6. It's a simple mathematics. So if I have again my quarter note and there is a dot placed after it, this is quarter note takes 1 count plus half that is equal to 1/2. I want to give you a free chance to think of it very well. You have it there already. So a dot placed before a note adds half the value of that note to read. So if we see a dotted note, just like we have in the last bar, this note is dotted, just like we have here. This is a dotted meaning. It's dotted half note. And we established that your half note, since your quarter note is taking 1 count, in this time signature, your half note takes 2 counts. So in each bar, we are supposed to have 3 counts. So your half note is 1, 2, plus the dot, we have 3 complete. So let's clap it again together. 1, 2, ready, go. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. All right, so I've dwelled on that so much, and I really want to believe that you would understand that. Now we would move further to the 2/4 time signature. Now we've done what we've done so far. We've done the 4/4 and the 3/4. Let's go to the 2/4 time signature for you to understand as well the beats. Okay, for you to understand the beat, the 2/4 time signature, you would count 2. That means in a 2/4 time signature, you have 2 beats in a bar. This is 3/4. In a 2/4 time signature, you are expected to count 2. When they say 2/4, that means the kind of beat you are still working with is your crochet beat. That is your quarter beat. That means your quarter note takes 1 count. Is that okay? So 2/4 here is telling you that there are 2 beats in a major. So what you would have instead of what we had before is 2 beats in a bar. So this is what you have. So you have this. Let me also bring this. And you have this. Very, very simple. Very, very simple. This is 1, 2. 1, 2. Don't forget that this is your 8th note, and your 8th note is half the value of your quarter note. And that is to say that your 8th notes, 2 of your 8th notes is equal to 1 of your quarter note. So here we have 1, 2, 1 and 2, 1, 2. So your quarter note is half. That is half. So we have 1, 2, 1 and 2, 1, 2. We already know that our half note is equal to 2. So we count 1, 2 here. This is 1 and then you have 2 here. Are you seeing it? This is half, pap, pap, and this is 1, 2. It is as simple as that. So I want to believe that if you see a piece of music, you can really understand it and you can clap it. Give yourself some exercise. Do it on your own. You can write out a lot of different kinds of time signatures that are like this. Then you give yourself some notes on your own. Give yourself different notes, but make sure that the notes, when divided, the portion is going in accordance with the time signature. So when you have 2/4 in a time signature, it means that there are 2 beats in each measure and that the quarter note gets 1 beat. This time signature often gives music a marching feeling, like when you are marching, that 1, 2, pap, 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 pap. Anytime you are marching, 2, 4 is always very nice with it. So I want to believe I have really delved on that seriously, because it is very important you know them, and that is why I have taken my time to um, give you this. Now let's go further to something very important now. Tonight I want us to really know how to sight read. So tonight we are going to be recognizing notes, durations, and their rest. So we did this yesterday. Now I'm going to do it on the line. Don't forget, look at the note. We established, I think day before yesterday, that this is the note head. Now this is a round note. I'll leave it to be a round note. I want to have 3 different kinds of notes in each bar. So what I'll do is I'll leave it to be a round note. Now, if a note, this is how to write your notes. If a note is placed on the 3rd line, you have liberty to either bring the stems down or up. You have liberty to bring the stems down or up if it has a stem. But if it is placed, if a single note on the bar, you are not sharing any notes. If it is placed below, if you see what I was doing, what I did yesterday, I think my stems were coming down. Oh, sorry, we're going up. But you see what we did today, the few exercises we've done today, my stems are coming down. Why? This is the 3rd line. So any note that goes above the 3rd line, your stem is supposed to be down. Your stem is supposed to come down. Then any note that comes below the 3rd line, your stem is supposed to be taken off. That is how to write notes. Musical notes. Please note. So you may see something like this and something like this. So notes that are above the 3rd line would always bring their stems down. But those notes that are below, you see their stems up. And I want to believe you've seen it. It's very easy, very simple. I want to believe you've gotten that. It is very important you also know how to write notes, so that you know that, okay, you went for a music class with him. But if a note falls on the line, I have the liberty to either take it up or bring it down. That is, here I have freedom. I may decide to bring it up or take it down. So here, I want us to at least do some exercise. You can see that the notes on the line runs your line, but the notes in the space is always within the space here. So take note of that as well. The notes on the line would always run your line. All right. So here, I want us to put this together tonight as well. This is my whole note, and this is my half note. This is my quarter note. This is how it really looks in real life. This is how it looks in real life. There is no difference. Your quarter note takes 4 cans. Your half note takes 2 cans. Sorry. Your quarter note takes 1 can. Your half note takes 2 cans. And your whole note takes 1 can. Okay. Where are our people? Where are they? Is this all I have on the live? Okay, 2 persons is following. All right. Okay, so I want to believe you are achieving something. So let's clap what we have here so far. 1, 2, ready, go. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So that is it. That is how you count these notes. Let's count again. 1, 2, ready, go. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's very simple. That is a simple way you can actually do this to get your notes and the beats together. Now you have to be clapping this, put down half notes, but make sure the notes equals the time signature like I said. So like what we have here now, you are already having 4 counts in a bar. Practice this on your own and get to know it without any stress or issues, without any problem. So I want to believe we've known that, and today I will go further to key signatures and scales so that we can start sight reading. Today is the 3rd day, and I want us to get the scales before we start sight reading. Now we already know, we've established from the first day that from the first day of this class, that your staff notation and that music, basically musical sounds are derived from the first 7 letters of the English alphabet, and we established that your first line, this is your treble staff already. So we established that your first line is a E, G, B, D, and F. Now, you see this today, I believe you've not been seeing this E, G, B, and F. What you have been seeing is the different notes on either on the line or the spaces. So today we are going to move further to scales and the key signature. Now we've been able to establish the time signature. You already know the value of notes and also dotted notes. So when you see a dotted quarter note, it means that 1 is plus half, making it 1 and a half. So that is it. So let's move further to the scales and key signature. Well, for us to sight read, the scale and key signature are fundamental concepts for understanding music, harmony, and structure, how music is harmonized and structured. So mastering this will significantly enhance your sight reading ability. If you master your scale, it will help your sight reading ability, because they provide a framework for predicting notes within a piece. When you master your scales and key signature, it will also provide that, it will give you that edge. So you're going to go above others, because already you know your scales. Let's say for instance, we said this is E, right? This is E. So my E scale, when you say this is E, this is the pitch of the song actually. So this is the pitch. So when you see, they say this is E, and you are given, for instance, E was supposed to have E and A. E was supposed to have 3 flats. Your B, E, and A flats. Sorry for bringing you the flats when you don't really know now. We are coming to key signature, so you will get to know all those things. Now, so this is your E. So if I want to view the scale on E, is very simple. This is E, F, G, A, B, C, D, and E. This is my scale. This is my E scale, the scale of E. Don't forget that. Why is this E? Already we have established, sorry, this is E flat, not EO. Sorry, so sorry about that. This is my E flat scale because this is not my normal E. So I think we should start from a key that you really understand. The E flat scale here is already built. Now, why is it called E flat? Already we have our E flat here, which is there, and we also have our B flat, and we also have our A flat. So the A, E, and D are flattened. Well, we'll come to that in subsequent classes. I'm so sorry for taking you that far. So for today, we are going to build a scale on C. We are starting from C, D, E, F, G, A, B, and C. So this is the C scale. Now, why are we building the scale on C? The key of C has no flat or sharp in it. If you've played the keyboard before, you've been used to the keyboard before, you see that the key of C, everything is played on the white keys. And for us to identify key signature, there is a laid down principle for us. That is to say that between your first note and your second note is supposed to be a tone. And what is a tone? A tone, you can call it a tone or a whole note, anyone. Now, we are supposed to have a tone between your first and second note, and the tone between your second and third note, semitone. Between that is, let me give you on the board here. Here we are supposed to have a tone. Here another tone. Then here we are supposed to have what is called semitone. And here we have our tone, 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 and finally semitone. So we have a principle of tone, tone, semitone, tone, 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 semitone. Now if you look at the keyboard, you see that the key C is already built on this tone, tone, semitone, tone, 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 semitone. So the first thing you do when you are talking about scales and key signature, the first thing I always advise my students to do is to know how to realize these notes on their own. And how do you know how to realize these notes? A tone is a walking distance of 2 steps, whereas a semitone, which is also called half step, is just a step away from the note. So before we can get that, I will have to draw what is known as a miniature keyboard on the board for you. This is necessary for you to understand your key signature. This is a keyboard, right? This is a keyboard. And here is our C, this is our D, E, F, G, A, B, and then C. This is the keyboard, right? We are moving further. I don't know why some persons, those who said they already know some of the basics, they were supposed to join the class because the more we go, the more we add up new things. As the day goes by, we are going to learn new things, and you see that before they join us, maybe they must have missed a lot of things. So this is your keyboard, this is your miniature keyboard, and this is how your keyboard looks. Now this is the white keys, and just like I said, your white keys here on the key of C, you can see that I said a tone is a walking distance of 2. That is, a tone has 2 steps. You move twice. You move 1 and 2. Whereas a semitone, you move just once. So you move once from C to C sharp. Okay, sorry, forgive me. I will need to add a name to this black note. These black notes are called enharmonic notes. These black notes are called enharmonic notes. Why are they called enharmonic notes? Because they share 2 names. That is, one of the black notes has 2 names. When you're going forward, it's your C sharp. When you're coming backward, it is called your D flat. So this first black note, when you're going forward, it's your C sharp. When you're coming back, it is called your D flat. The same thing is applicable to this one. This is called your D sharp or your E flat. So they are called enharmonic notes because they share 2 names. C sharp and D flat is this black note. When you are going further, it is called your C sharp. When you are coming back, it is called your D flat. The same thing is applicable to this. When you are going further, this is called your D sharp. You are going front. Then when you are coming back, when you are descending, this is called your E flat. Same thing is applicable to this other one, set of 3. This is your F sharp or your G flat. And this is your G sharp or your A flat. And this is your A sharp or your B flat. Take note of that when you are going further, like when you are rising, ascending, any word you can use, when you ascend, this becomes your C sharp. When you descend, this is your D flat. This black note is your D flat. The same thing is applicable to this one. This is your D sharp or your E flat. Then this is your F sharp or your G flat. This is your G sharp or your A flat. This is your A sharp or your B flat. That is it. So whenever you see the black notes. Now, let's continue. So you can see from this C now to this C sharp. When you're moving from C to C sharp is a half step. Okay, a good example of it is from E to F. You can see that between E to F there is no black note. So this is a half step, and that is why it's called semitone. But you can see that between C to D, if I want to get to D, there is a black note here already. So I must move 1 and 2, making it what? A tone. Between D to E, I must also move 1 and 2, making it what? Another tone. Between F to G, there is another tone here, black note here, which is I must move a tone. I must 1, 2 before to G. Then between G and A, I also have a tone. Between A and B, there is a tone, and B and C here, you can already see there is no black note here, my beloved. So we have our semitone here. That is it. It's as simple as that. So we have here tone, tone, semitone, tone, 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 semitone. Now, what I used to tell my students is that if you understand the principle, the guideline, the principle of the tone, tone, semitone, tone, 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 semitone, there is no single key you cannot play in music. There is no single key you cannot play in music. So let's digress further to other keys. But for today, I want you to note that there is a tone between C and D, a tone between D and E. Why is it a tone? A tone has two steps. So for you to have C, from C to D, you have to move 1 and 2. You can see I moved twice. 1. This is where I am. This is my position. So I have to move 1, 2. I want to go to the next note. I would also move from D now. 1, 2. That is a tone. Then, if I'm looking for a semitone, you can see already here 1. This is where I am. So it's just 1. You are counting from where you are. That means you are not counting that one. You count your step. You are counting your step. So if I'm already on D, I'll count my step 1, 2 to get a tone. If I'm on E, I'll just count 1 to get a semitone. I'm on F, I want a tone, I'll count 1, 2. Just as simple as that. So we have our tone, tone, semitone, tone, 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 semitone. And that is the same thing when you sing your solfa, you sing do, re, mi, fa, sol, la. There's a mix up here. So this is supposed to be between this do, re, mi, and the fa is supposed to be a semitone. Then sol, la, ti, and the do. So here you can see that your do and re is far apart because it's a tone, but your mi and fa is close. Sol, la, they are far apart because of the tone, and ti, do, they are always close. Why am I bringing you to this? Our main focus for these 7 days is for us to be able to sight read. And now we've already laid down the principle. You already know your lines and your spaces. You know the kinds of notes. Now it is time for us to start our sight reading. And now you need to know how to translate it from the A to the solfa notation, because what you are actually saying is the solfa note. For those that are playing, I used to encourage my students not to quickly sing it because they are playing. Because you are playing, you use mostly the alphabet. So what do we do in class? What we do is what we are going to do now. Follow me to the end. Now, what do? We have our C here. I taught us ledger line the first day of the class, and we said this is our C, middle C. This is C. So when you see this note, you should know that it's already C. So I have my C here. Then I have this D. Let's say this is a note. Let me make it a half note. C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. So let's say this is our note. This is how to sight read. You have your C here, and this song is already in key C because there is no time signature here. To bring in more about time signature today before we sight read. But let's start this. We already know that the C does not have a flat and it does not have a sharp. So this is C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. Now, when you know your pitch, you have to know your pitch. Now, the pitch of this song, the key is C, because there is no sharp or flat. That means you are playing everything on the natural notes. So you have to know your notes now. This is your C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. Already we know that the third space is C, right? When we did F, A, C, E. When we did F, A, C, E, we already know the lines. And we also did every good boy does fine or deserves favor. We did that. So you already know that this is C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. That is the same way you go do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. So that is how you sing it too. The same way you sing it. But you know, a piece of music must not really go this way. Like I said yesterday, you must not have quarter notes throughout the piece of music. So they will miss it. Your ability to apply what you've learned within the past 2 days to that music itself. That is what we are going to be doing from today henceforth. So now you can see from the list we have C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. So if I'm on C, this is where my do is. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. Do, ti, la, so, fa, mi, re, do. That is a C major scale. Is that understood? So, do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. So, but it's not really do, ti, la, sol, fa, mi, re, do. So from here now you can see that your C is here, and we also have the octave here, which is your do to do. That is the lower do to the higher do. Between the notes, after the do, the next note which is under the line, we said this is D. So in the key of C, your D is your re, your E is your mi, your F is your fa, sol, la, ti, and do. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. Your do is in the third space. Your T is in the line. So you just count it that way. Once you know, this thing is not really difficult. If you know where you are, your key is, that is the tonic. Where you know, first of all, you have to know where your tonic is. If that is, your tonic is the first note of the staff. From their tonic now, which is your do, also known as do, do, re, mi, fa. From your tonic now, you don't miss any line. In music, we don't miss any line. That means if this is my do, this other line is my re. So here I have my fa, sol, la, ti, do. That is on the key of C. So this is mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. Do, ti, la, sol, fa, mi, re, do on the key of C. If the song is in key G, that means my do is going to be here. My do is here. So this will be my do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, and the high G will be my do. I want to believe we are understanding. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. That is G, A, B, C, D, E, F, G. So you see that this is what you are seeing. This is what you sing actually, and this is what you see on the stars. You see da 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 di da, and this is what you are singing. Da re mi fa sol la ti do. The same thing if the note starts on G, that means your G is the tonic. If they say this song is in the key of G, it means that your G is the tonic. Okay, let's go further. Let's move further. Let's do something. Now we already know the key of C. How do we get our key signatures? For the sharp key, we are going to start with the sharp keys first. We've known I have built my whole, that is my tone, tone, semitone, tone, 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 semitone. I have built that already. The scale is a series of musical notes that are arranged in both ascending and descending order of this. So the most common type of scale is our major scale, which is built like this. This scale here now, the tone, tone, semitone is the major. It is very common. The most common of all is this major scale, and this is how it is built: tone, tone, semitone, tone, 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 semitone. So if you have your C, this is going to be your C, D, E, F, G, A, B, and C. Between B and C, we have a semitone. Between E and F, we have a semitone. So you apply that to your music, like what we did here before now. How do you apply it? You add up C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. So C here, D, E, F, G, A, B, and C. So you know already that this is a semitone. You already know already too that this is a semitone. The other notes are whole tone. Between C and D we have a tone, tone, yeah, tone, tone, tone. 3 tones and a semitone. So you already have this. So this is what you are going to build it on. So you learn how to sing it C, D, E, F, and when you master it, you would get it and discover also that they are very simple. They are very simple. So the scale, we'll be able to establish the scale now. Having known the scale, let's now move to other key signature. We already know that of the C. Everything was built on the C, right? So now let's move to other key signatures. How do I get other key signatures? I'll just count 5. This is my 5 fingers. You can see my 5 fingers. I use these 5 fingers to demonstrate the scale for you. The key signatures for you. Why? It is very simple. But before I illustrate with my 5 fingers, I'll let you know something that is very important. The names of I used to call it the technical names of notes, because we know notes as C, D, E, F, G, or do, re, mi, fa, sol. But this do, re, mi, fa, sol, they have their technical names, which is very important for you to know. And it is when you know that you can easily realize your key signatures even without thinking of it. I am not part of those that will teach you and I will just say, okay, the key of G has 1 sharp, and I'm done. Yes, the key of G has 1 sharp. Yes, key G has 1 sharp. You need to know key signature before you do anything regarding keys, right? And key G has 1 sharp, no doubt. But that's not the way I'm going to teach you. I want to teach you in the right way And how do I teach you in the right way? I'll tell you which note is sharpened. You should be able to realize which note is sharpened on your own without anybody telling you as well. So how do you know that? First, you have to know the technical names of notes. Technical names of notes. Sorry, it seems we are exhausting our time, but before we exhaust our time, let me give you the technical names of notes. Now already, we have established this. You know your tone, semitone. Let me quickly give you the technical names of notes. Now we have your first degree is called your tonic. So your first degree is called your tonic. That is your do. Your second degree is called your supertonic. Your third degree is called your median. Your fourth degree is called your subdominant. Dominant. Your fifth degree is called your dominant. Your sixth degree is called your submedian. And your seventh degree is called your leading notes. So your do is your tonic. Your do, when I say your first degree, that means I'm talking about your do. Your do, this is, for instance, we are on key of C. For instance, we are on the key of C. So my do here is my tonic. My re, which is second thing, is my supertonic. My mi is my medians. My fa is my subdominant. La, my so, sorry, is my dominant. La here is my submedian. My T is my leading note. Know this and have peace. This is my supertonic. This is my tonic. So my first degree is my tonic. My second degree is my supertonic. My third degree is my median. My fourth degree is my subdominant. My fifth degree is my dominant. My sixth degree is submedian. Seventh degree is leading note. Now, why am I bringing this now? Because it's very important for you to be able to know your key signature. First thing you do is your notes. Now, your dominant, a very important key. It dominates in that key signature. It dominates in music. There are four primary chords in music. Four primary chords in music, and that is your chord 1, your chord 1, your chord 4, and your chord 5. These four primary chords are very important, and in order for you to get your sharp keys, you need your dominant, and you need, your tonic, which is your 1, and your dominant. For flat keys, you need your tonic and your subdominant. Now, how do we get this tonic and dominant? You need key signature is a set of sharp or flats that are at the beginning of a staff. Like this sharp that is placed here. They are placed at the beginning of the staff, immediately after the clef. So immediately after this clef, the next thing you see here, these sharps or flats that you see, sharp sign, or you see a flat sign, they are called what? Key signature. The flats or sharp that you're seeing there, they are called what? Key signature. It tells you which notes are to be consistently played sharp or flattened throughout the piece, indicating the key of the music. So if my, like I have here, my F is sharpened already. If you are with us here, you know that our F is, so my F is sharpened. So my F that is sharpened here means that the key of F, instead of me playing an F natural, I'm going to be playing the F. So note these names. By tomorrow, we'll digress more on the key signature. My time is even off. So I want to say with this, we are going to stop here today and continue tomorrow with the class. I want to thank those of you that were able to stay back, and I wish you God's blessing and grace to accomplish this. So, thank you and God bless you all. Bye bye. We are going to stop here for today. I wish you can also go after now, do your homework, the assignment I dropped, and ensure that you submit it to me so I can know what you are really doing. Please ensure you drop your assignment on my DM. With this, I want to say bye-bye. And thank you for staying with me till the end of the class. Those of you, I'm just seeing 2 persons here. All right. So good night. Good night, everyone.